while you guys are, oh, he was doing it for self-defense and yada, 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 and all this. This young man had already been suspended before for bringing a knife to school. He was plotting to hurt someone. No telling how long he has been thinking about doing this. Y'all, I just had to come back on here because I just found out that Kamelo, Anthony's father, the murderer suspect who allegedly stabbed a high school student who was around his same age in the chest days ago at a track meet. And they had the nerve to start a GoFundMe for this person. We're going to get all into it. I'm Tamara. You're watching the Tamara Neely Show. I would like to welcome back all my returning subscribers. And if you're new here, I'd like to let you know I'm happy you're here. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button to boost this video in the algorithm. Y'all, this is crazy. Like, I cannot believe that a GoFundMe was started for Kamelo. This young man needs to take accountability, and his family also needs to take accountability. While I'm at it, I will be showing you what his father had to say about this. There's no excuse for his behavior. And see, that's the problem, is his family has allowed him to act like a little girl for way too long. They've allowed him to throw tantrums for way too long. There's no excuse for bringing a knife to a school event. He knew better. And while you guys are, oh, he was doing it for self-defense and yada, 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 and all this. This young man had already been suspended before for bringing a knife to school. He was plotting to hurt someone. No telling how long he has been thinking about doing this. And I'm trying to be respectful because in the last video, we got to hear from Austin's family, and his dad he spoke a great message. I just was so moved and so touched, and I am truly sorry for their loss. I think that his dad's just the way Austin's dad thinks is just so incredible. And I admire his faith and his steadfastness, and I could go on and on. He handled it beautifully. But then you have Kamelo's dad here, who is justifying his son's actions. It says, here we go. Father of track meet murder suspect claims son was not the one who started it. He's a good kid, insisted the father of Kamelo, Anthony, 17, who has been charged with the murder of Austin Metcalf, also 17. The father of a teenager accused of stabbing a footballer is what they say, from a rival school at a track event, has defended his son, claiming he's a good kid. And the thing well, I think it may be included in here. I might be getting ahead of myself. Oh yeah. He's going to say exactly what I thought he said. Okay. We already know everything that happened with Austin. Terrible event. I'm deeply saddened. I'm praying for his twin brother who held his brother in his arms as his brother took his last breath. This young man here, he had fresh blood on his fingers when he was arrested. Not only did he have fresh blood on his fingers, but he admitted to the cops openly that he had committed an egregious, unthinkable crime. He said it is not alleged, he actually did it. When is this going to stop? You guys are creating stupid GoFundMes for him and everything. He doesn't deserve a GoFundMe. And that's the thing, is y'all are so caught up on he's black and all this stuff. Get over the skin color, because at the end of the day, we all bleed the same, honey. We all bleed red. We all bleed red. All of our lives matter. Black lives matter. White lives matter. All lives matter. God doesn't have favorites, honey. So I'm sick of this, oh, well, it's all because he's black that y'all are trying to raise this money for him. He's black and he did the wrong thing. And he deserves to face the consequences of his actions. I'm praying for him too. I'm praying for his salvation, because right now I'm sure he is really thinking about how terrible of an action this was. And the thing is that warning comes before destruction. He was warned already. He already had been suspended because he had brought a knife to school before. He already was warned. You can't bring a knife to a public event, especially not a school event. There's no excuses for this. And as this was saying over here, let me make sure nobody was trying to contact me. Kamelo Anthony was charged with first-degree murder in connection. So we know all that. So it says his father, Andrew Anthony, which his father should be held accountable too. Hold the parents accountable as well. And then I think the parents may need to be arrested, because they allowed this monster to come about. They allowed their son to become a monster. And I'm using that, and I'm saying that because for his father to defend his actions as if what he did was okay tells me everything I need to know about his upbringing and his family. And keep in mind, this young man also had a future. He had a lot going for him. He had football scholarships that were pending. You can check it out on his Twitter. Several different football scholarships that were pending and everything. He could have lived a great life. He's a good-looking young man. And Austin was a good-looking young man as well. He could have had the rest of his life ahead of him, but he chose to do a senseless act, and there's no excuse for it. This was not okay. His father, Andrew Anthony, told the New York Post that his son did not provoke the incident, insisting he was not the aggressor. He was not the one who started it. I don't care if he was the aggressor or not. What happened to guys just fighting it out? We know, I'm not condoning violence on this channel now. I'm not saying that guys need to be fighting each other and stuff like that, but we know that fights happen. He should have, y'all fight it out and then go on about your way. What happened to that? But nowadays, people take it to the extreme for no reason. This was all over a sea, but it wasn't just all over a sea. This young man was probably jealous of Austin because he saw the type of person that Austin was. MVP. He was also the captain of his football team, from what I heard. So they were both, it was probably, he was probably feeling some sort of threat because Austin seemed like he, was probably tough guy, all that stuff. And then he's trying to be maybe tough guy. I don't know what happened. But at least have a fair fight. And you can't claim self-defense in Texas in this situation, because you're supposed to, if it's self-defense, you're supposed to use as much force or less. You went over the limit in Texas, so that self-defense argument is not going to work out, sir. You shouldn't have done it. Y'all should have, at most, if you want to have a little conversation, have a little tussle, have a little tussle. But don't be unfair about it. Don't be a little girl about it. Because that's the thing, is he was acting like a little girl, throwing a little tantrum. And then his daddy coming to his defense. His dad says he's a good kid. He works 2 jobs. He's an A student, has a 3.7 GPA. I don't care. I don't care about his GPA. He let that go downhill when he decided to commit a senseless act and take someone else's life. I don't even want to go back through what we watched with Austin's dad detailing the tragic events that happened to his son. I don't want to go through that again. Go watch the other video if you're interested. Y'all starting GoFundMes and all that crap. This young man does not need a GoFundMe. If anything, he needs a butt whooping. And see, that's what he probably didn't have enough of when he was a kid. Because you know something, when I was a kid, my dad did not play. Did not play. My dad would give us a whooping, and then he would have us go to each person in our house. So at the time, when I was real little, getting whoopings and stuff like that, it was me, my brother, my mom, and dad. So, he takes me in the room. He explains to me, Tamara, you know why I'm giving you a whooping, right? And I would say, yes, or no, I don't know why. And my dad would explain it to me. And then he would whip me, and it hurt. Then he would say, go apologize to each one of your family members. So I had to go to my mom, apologize, go to my brother, apologize. And by that time, I'm feeling terrible for my actions. Why did my dad have us do that? Because when you make choices, it affects your entire family. When you make bad choices, it affects your entire family. Anthony, I'm not sure what his father's. Anthony has done his son a great disservice by not teaching his son the right way. When he made a bad choice, pay the consequences. It was nobody's fault. You were acting like a little coward. You should have fought it out like a tough guy. Instead, you wanted to pull out a knife and make it unfair and end somebody else's future. Austin's family can't get his son back. And I want to end with this point too. This young man had the nerve. I wonder who this is, who's hosting this. Anyways, I got distracted. This young man had the nerve to ask the police officers multiple times after this happened. He said, oh, is he going to be okay? Is he going to be okay? Dude, you realize you just hurt somebody and you deleted them. I have to say those words because this is YouTube. You did the unthinkable to this person. He's not coming back. You realize that, right? Life is not a game. And see, that's the thing, is some of y'all think life is a game. And that's why this little GoFundMe has $2,000. Because y'all don't take life seriously. Life is not a joke. It is not a game. This has costed Austin's family everything. They will never get their son back. Austin's twin brother will never hug his brother again. Not on this side of eternity. On the next. He does not need a GoFundMe. He needs a butt whooping. All right, y'all. I had to come on here and update you because I thought this was ridiculous. Why are y'all giving this man, young boy, a GoFundMe? And the reason why I say young boy, because he is 17, okay? He is underage. and he had the rest of his life ahead of him, but he chose to do what he did. And that's the sad part. He had a bright future ahead of him, but he was envious, had jealousy in his heart, had evilness in his heart. He had already been in trouble before for carrying a knife in school. He's obviously this was premeditated. He had already been thinking about hurting someone at some point. And that's obvious because he brought a knife to a sporting event, a school sporting event. Stop trying to justify this. I love you guys, and you'll hear from me soon.